everybody. What's going on? It's Monday.
Yep.
Hopefully you guys had a good weekend. And this movie here...
Totally random.
This was a totally random pick. We were just kind of... I was scrolling through all the different streaming services that we had, and I was like, man, I don't know. What's most of the ones it's like that I was interested in, I'm like, well, we've already done that one or whatever. And then we were on Netflix, which is not, to be fair, really known for its good horror movie selection. But we were kind of going through there and watching all these trailers. And we saw the trailer for this one. Tom's like, that looks like it'd be pretty good.
Yeah.
He's like, I have a good feeling about that one.
And the reason why I had a good feeling about it, this is a good movie.
I ended up liking this quite a bit. It was much better than I was expecting.
Yeah. The reason why I said this is going to be a good movie is because the acting was, in the trailer, the acting was good. And I was like, I don't recognize any of these actors, but I like that's good acting, and I like the tone of the trailer. And I said, this probably be a pretty good movie. It was. It was good. Weird shit about this just vanilla couple. They fucking do like a bed and breakfast and kind of, or what do they call it?
Or it's like a like a rental,
it's like a rental. They rented
like an Airbnb or
an
something.
Airbnb. That's what I meant. They rented like this Airbnb on a lake. It's a fucking mansion. It's gorgeous. And they rented it. And they don't have much money, so it must have been pretty cheap.
Yeah.
And they get there. And they're like, man, this place is fucking great. You know what I mean? And then like, within a few hours, another couple shows up. And they're like, we rented it too. And
like on a different app.
Yeah, on a different app. And
kind of like the Barbarian setup, but this movie's not like Barbarian. But the setup is kind of the same.
And so you got the vanilla couple, and then you got and the other couple's like a spicy couple.
Yeah.
They're hot, all right. And they talk their way into let's just kind of split it.
I mean, it is a really big house.
It's a real big house, Turns out, man, the spicy couple are fucking psychos.
I mean,
okay.
I don't even think that's a spoiler alert.
Yeah, it's not. I
mean, it's a horror movie, so you know that when these people show up.
And it turns out the whole thing's a setup. The fucking whole thing is a setup. It's their house. Yeah.
Sorry, we spoiled the whole movie.
Yeah. And fucking, they've been doing this. All right. And they do all kinds of fucked up shit to you and your relationship, and they really fuck with your mind. Gaslight the fuck out of you, throwing crosses, and they throw fucking crosses and triple crosses on the couple. Eventually, they kill them. Yeah, I mean, it's a good flick though, and I didn't. I thought it would be pretty good just through the trailer, but there was a lot of twists and turns in it, and I was like, this is good writing. It's pretty good writing. Now, it's not. It has its own fucking character, the movie. It has its own tone. But it's not fucking totally revolutionary thing. Shit like this has been done before. It's just there's something about this one. For a new movie, this is a great... Because I don't really have big respect for most new movies. I'll tell you, we told you guys the new movies that were good, and those are good. This one's up there with it. This is a good movie.
Yeah, this one actually is from... It first premiered at Fantastic Fest in late 2024, and then it got a wider U.S. release in October of 2025. So this is like a pretty new movie. And the director of it, Mercedes Bryce Morgan, she had done another movie called A Spoonful of Sugar, which I hadn't seen yet, but I'd heard some other people talking about like a couple years back when it came out. But like I said, I haven't seen it. But this one, the vibe of it kind of reminded me a little bit, and I don't know if I'm the only person that fucking saw this movie or what, but I reviewed a movie that came out, I think in 2022 or 2023. It was called Who Invited Them? And it was kind of a sort of a similar setup, but that one was like a couple that lived in a house. They had just moved to this house and they were having a party, and then this couple that wasn't invited like showed up. And then they were like, that they were their neighbors, and it was like, oh, we saw you were having a party and we just crashed it, sorry, blah, blah, blah. And then they kind of like try to ingratiate themselves and like they won't leave. So it's kind of a similar thing to that. I will note that this is listed on Wikipedia as an erotic thriller, which
No.
I wouldn't go. It does have like a sexual component.
Yeah.
But it's not super graphic.
No.
Although I will say, like in the first 2 minutes of the movie, you do get a dude's ball sack, like an arrow going through a dude's ball sack, like in loving close up.
Yeah.
And I was like, well, you got my attention.
Yeah, and it was kind of CG. It did look a little bit goofy, but he's telling you a story about it happening, so it's kind of cartoon. So don't let that throw you when you see it. You know, you're like, that was kind of cheesy looking. He's telling you a story.
Yeah, that's why I like, because it kind of
he's telling you a story. But turns out that was a true story.
Yeah,
kind of. You think he's telling you that story. Somebody else was telling that story. But just you just gotta see it. Yeah. For me, I put this up there with the one about the serial killer that was feeding the girls to the sharks.
Oh yeah, Dangerous Animals.
Yeah, Dangerous, about like that.
That was one of my favorite movies of last year.
And I would say it was up there.
It was
with,
fun.
And there was something about it. I'd probably put it up there with like the companion.
Yeah, it's like, it's not
that.
Exactly the same as that, because I feel like Companion was a lot.
In terms of level.
Yeah.
In terms of quality level.
Yeah, because I was going to say Companion
if you like
was
those, then you'd probably like this.
Funnier. This one's kind of funny, too, but I wouldn't call it a comedy necessarily, or horror comedy. Funny shit happens in it. Funny shit happens in it. I will say that for the first, like, 2/3, it definitely trends more toward psychological horror or thriller than horror. But the third act is pretty gory. Like, it gets real violent.
It becomes a slasher.
It sort of becomes a slasher, like, toward the end. And like I said, it does get real gory at the end. But, like, through the first, like, it's mostly, like, psychological manipulation, as this couple that shows up is kind of... You know they're up to something. Like, as soon as they get there, like, you can tell that they're fucking sketchy.
Yeah.
But you're not... I mean, you're kind of sure what their end game is. But it's really, like, interesting watching how they manipulate. Because it's almost kind of like they kind of look for chinks in the armor.
Yeah. They're
of the other people's relationships. And they get off on, like, making them mistrust each other. And it's like, oh, well, he said this about you. And like, doing all this kind of fucked up shit.
They're both trying to seduce the opposite sex of the couple. And then throw crosses and tell the other ones that, I fucked her. You know what I mean? And some of the shit was unresolved. He may have.
I kind of like that they left stuff ambiguous, because it doesn't matter, really. Because, like I said, I think the whole point was that they were trying to undermine
your relationship.
The relationship.
Yeah.
And the fact that they were able to do that, that's why they target those kind of people specifically, because they get off on being able to undermine it. If you don't have that trust for one another, which they didn't, and for good reason. I mean, then, and there was, like, resentments and stuff going on, and so that's exactly, like, what they were targeting, and they were doing, like, a really good job. Like, I was watching, because I love psychological horror, so I was kind of, like, watching the first two, because I knew that they were upset. Like I said, as soon as they showed up, I'm like, oh, these two. There's some bad shit gonna go down. And, like, just some of the shit that they did, I was just kind of like, oh, like, it was, like, really fucking, it was fucked up.
Now, you said this was directed by a woman?
Yeah.
Did she write the story, too?
The screenplay was written by Joshua Friedlander.
Okay, yeah. Because it's funny, because, like, it seems like, I was watching it, it's a flick that a dude would dig. Especially a dude that's had a girlfriend and, like, had relationships before. And the relationship, the mind fuck behind the relationship angle, I thought was fucking really cool. And that is kind of like a female touch to a fucking slasher. A dude really wouldn't think of that. But the thing is that me as a dude, I responded to that. I was like, yeah, that's right. Oh, and then all the fucking crosses, you know what I mean, that was thrown. You're like, oh, damn, man. He did that? Fucking, like... So, so it kind of makes sense that maybe a dude wrote it, but a woman directed it. It's kind of got a wide spectrum, this movie, in terms of
because it kind of has
women would like it, men would like it.
Yeah, like I said, I really do, because I really like psychological horror, and I particularly like. I think mainly this got, like, mostly good reviews. It seems like it's like 85%, something like that, were good reviews. But, like, I think people that didn't like it were like, well, it's not really horror, or it takes too long. to get to the horror because it's not like really gory or anything till the end or violent till the end. But I'm like, it's for real. Like it's a psychological horror is what it is, and like I really got into it. Yeah. You know what I mean? Like I was just like really riveted by what these horrible fucking people.
There were actually in real life couples like this. They had that dude with his girlfriend. They would go out and pick up chicks. Remember that? They were both hot. They'd have sex with her, but then they'd plant something in her purse and then accuse her of stealing it.
Yeah.
Remember? And then they basically fuck with her for hours, and they ended up killing her over something that she didn't steal. They put it in her purse.
Right. Remember they're doing shit like that.
They were doing that kind of,
Oh, now see, Erica Lynn says, I enjoyed this film. It says the wedding ring scene.
Yeah.
When the guy, I know, that was just like, dude, oh, shit.
We don't want to steal the movie. We don't want to steal the movie's thunder because we don't want to spoil everything. But yeah, there's like,
that dude, what the fuck?
Fucked over your wedding ring. Damn, right in front of you.
Yeah.
And then got you to accept it. I was like, you are a fucking chump.
Yeah, I mean.
Yeah. Yeah.
It was just a terrible situation. Oh, another movie this reminded me of, like I said, the one it reminded me of most strongly was called Who Invited Them. But like I said, I reviewed it a long time ago, but I don't know how many people saw it. Also had a slight, it's like a less fucked up version of Speak No Evil. And I'm not talking about the American remake. I'm talking about the Danish original, because I didn't see the American remake. Now that movie is way more messed up than this one. As far as like psychological, but it's the same kind of thing where it's like, you know, this couple goes to visit this other couple they don't know very well, and they just keep like pushing boundaries in like little ways that still have plausible deniability. But then like the whole time you're like, holy shit, like these people are really fucking yeah. And then like it ends very very badly,
like a slasher. It ends like a slasher, and fucking there's some gratuitous fucking carnage. And you're like, yeah, fuck that bitch. You know,
I liked the jaw scene.
The jaw scene with the mobo.
And the chainsaw.
Yeah. Too. So they kind of get their revenge in the end, but it doesn't come at a fucking cheap price. They get fucked up too, and they survive it though. So I'll spoil that. But you know that's probably gonna happen in this.
Yeah,
movie.
like I said, it's just kind of.
It's But no, man, I gave it. It's a serious movie. I give it Tom Ross high testosterone seal of approval. A man would like this movie.
And you know what?
And a woman would like this too.
I never really heard anybody talking about it.
Yeah, she was like, I never heard of that movie.
Yeah, it's like
I got a feeling.
And I kind of hear just through the grapevine. I don't see everything, obviously, because I don't have time. But I'll usually hear people talking about stuff like through the grapevine, like just on Reddit or YouTube or whatever. And I don't think I ever saw anybody mention this one. And when I went looking, I didn't really see that many reviews of it. So, I don't know. Maybe, like, it seemed like it got good reviews, mostly, like, across the board.
For those who are new to the show, don't know my background, I have some drama training. I did well fucking in drama school. And when I look at a trailer, one of the things I do is I look at what style of acting we're talking about. And I could, because sometimes corny acting is like, okay, that's the slasher genre. That you're going to see that.
Yeah.
That's okay. Acceptable. But no, this was good acting in the trailer, and just the tone of the trailer, and then the come on, the lead. A couple goes to this place, Bone Lake. What's it called again?
Bone Lake. Yeah.
Bone Lake, and fucking blah 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 blah, and they tease you that people have been dying in this area.
Yeah, like the guy saying all these bodies, all these skeletons washed up like after a storm, and they said there was serial killers and dumping all. Yeah,
two young couples in this mansion, and I was like, all right, yeah, and I could see the acting, and I was like, this is going to be a good movie, I think. And as soon as it started going, I'm like 5 minutes into it, and I'm going like, this is going to be a good movie. I could just tell by the acting.
Yeah.
And then the writing did not fucking disappoint. Each scene it got better, and I was going, okay, all right, now this is happening.
Yeah.
And so it's pulling me in. Okay, all right, yeah. So very good edit, good writing, good acting, good soundtrack, or not soundtrack. What do you call it? Score. Good score. The way it's filmed, shot composition, all that's good. Nothing took me out of the movie.
Yeah, I got pretty invested.
Nothing took me out. Yeah.
I mean, I knew where it was going because I've seen other movies like this.
Yeah.
But that didn't. It doesn't matter.
No,
like
you're on for the ride.
You still like enjoy the ride even though you know where it's going. Zach said I just read up on it, and the cinematographer for this movie said Evil Dead 2, Clockwork Orange, and Funny Games inspired the visual in this one. Yeah, I can see that. It's not as wacky as like Evil Dead 2, but I can see what
the slasher part gets pretty. It's obviously slasher. It gets kind of wacky, but it has a dark tone to it though. But I don't say wacky. It goes a little bit almost over the top.
Yeah, but not quite. Like I said, not Evil Dead 2 over the top.
Yeah, not that far. Almost.
Because that's pretty crazy. But
they ramp it up. They gave a nod to the slasher crowd.
Yeah.
There's some fan service.
Like I said, I think the only criticism that I saw of this was that people thought it took too long to get to that.
I disagree.
But I don't agree with that either.
There's only 4 fucking people in
There's
the
only
damn
4
movie.
characters. That's it.
You can't be a slash-a-thon. They'd all be dead. It built up to that's it. Okay, the game's over. Because they were playing games.
Yeah, because the whole thing was like psychological manipulation.
Yeah, they were getting off on fucking this couple's relationship up. And then they give you sneak peeks into what happened there before because they videotaped everything.
Yeah. So
they were doing kinky fucking sex shit. They're into BDSM. They're a fucking spicy couple. I'm not even gonna spoil everything about them because there's more to it. Okay, but it's a newer movie, so I'm not gonna talk about all elements. They're kinky.
Yeah, you could say that.
Yeah, they're unnaturally kinky.
Now here's one thing that I was gonna ask because remember earlier when I said, and I know you haven't seen Speak No Evil, the Danish movie. Which is amazing, which is a great movie. But if you want to hate life, it's really bleak. But one thing that people criticize about that was that, oh, well, I would have noped out of there like long before the protagonist did because I would have seen that something fucked up was going on. Do you think that the couple in this one, like the vanilla couple, I guess we're going to call, their names are Sage and Diego.
Yeah. And the hot couple is Cinnamon and what?
I think his name was Will.
Will, yeah.
Although you find out later that's...
they're pseudonyms. but you're gonna find out. But don't spoil everything about them. They're actually pretty interesting. I didn't really see that coming. But then you're like, oh, okay, yeah, these motherfuckers are freaks.
Yeah, they are freaks.
And then Cinnamon and Sage.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, they call her Sin for short, but with the C.
Yeah.
But yeah. So I was wondering, because I'm particularly thinking about, because Erica brought it up, the wedding ring scene. Do you think that Diego handled that the right way?
No.
Or would you have...
Oh, no, I'd have called him out right there.
Because he did call him out, but he took him outside.
No, I'd have done it. I would have said, this is it.
Just right in his face.
I would have told everybody, yeah, I'd have fucking put...
I probably would have, too.
I would have burst that bubble. But you see what they're doing is they're playing on the decency of the vanilla.
Well, yeah,
couple.
that's like I said. That's kind of like what Speak No Evil was.
You can't do that with me. I'm indecent.
Yeah, like they're banking on the fact that most people don't want to be rude to your face, even if they think that you're doing something fucked up. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But like I said, Speak No Evil was kind of insidious like that because the couple, when they kind of talked about it later, like when you said what they did, it didn't sound like that big of a deal.
Yeah.
But it was a big deal.
Yeah.
But so they were sitting there going, it's like, well, all they did was this, that, and the other thing. But like, which doesn't sound like a big deal, but like it just kind of escalated. So I think that was a similar kind of thing that was going on here. And I really like psychological horror like that, where it's kind of trading on people's, tendency to be nice or not want to get into conflict or anything like that. And I don't think this couple here, I don't think they allowed themselves to be fucked over as heartily as the couple in Speak No Evil did. They seem to like twig onto it quicker, still not that quick, but I don't know. It's hard to say, like, because even from the beginning, I was like, this couple is like entirely too friendly.
Yeah.
And you'd think that, like, the second they started kind of saying shit about your partner behind your back and stuff like that. But see, that was kind of the point, is that Sage and Diego, their relationship was not that strong.
Yeah.
So they could see that there were weaknesses and they were exploiting those.
Yeah, me and Jen are resistant to this kind of shit because we came up in the goth scene and we've recently run into motherfuckers like this.
Yeah, they reminded me of somebody.
Yeah, it's like,
of a particular.
That's them.
Yeah.
Now, they weren't that kinky.
No.
They're not killers, but I'm like, everybody in the scene is like, something not right.
Yeah, we immediately were just like,
something's not right with these two.
They were new.
Yeah.
I mean, they're old people, but they hadn't
They
been
returned to the scene
in a long time.
after some stuff.
And everyone was just kind of like...
Yeah.
Then they got kicked out, so...
They were a good-looking couple, though. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But they were the same thing, just... They
Something
weren't
about
what they appeared to be and try to cause as much chaos as they could and just...
Yeah, and like
try to
saying kind of sideways shit.
Yeah, trying to be the center of attention always and not paying their bill.
Yeah,
that was a weird thing too. Trying to get out of paying their bartenders.
Yeah, they were like sneaking in. And, like, so they didn't have to pay the
sneaking
cover.
away and shit.
So they didn't pay the Yeah,
they had money.
Yeah,
they had money, but they didn't want to pay.
So yeah, they eventually got kicked out. James Knapp said, "Hey Jenny, what subreddits do you frequent?" I usually just go to r/horror movies. I think is just the name of it. But it's just I kind of go searching around for various movies, and then I'll usually I like looking on there for recommendations because they really do seem to know their shit, you know. Yeah, Zach said I vaguely remember trailers for this last year. Yeah, I don't think I ever saw any trailers for this until we saw it on Netflix. And like I said, I wasn't sure because it kind of reminded me of a couple movies that I'd seen before, but it actually turned out like way better than I was expecting. And like you said, like the acting was really good. And like I said, which is good because there's only 4 people in it, you know what I mean? So you really have to.
Yeah, my hat's off to all the players. They were all real good. The good guys and the bad guys. Yeah.
Man, the woman playing
wasn't any bad acting.
The woman playing Sage is like a dead ringer for Florence Pugh.
Yeah.
Because Tom was like, "Is that Florence Pugh?" And I was like, "No, it does look like her though."
She's a little bit taller and a little bit bigger than Florence Pugh, but face very similar. The bad guy, the couple did a great job. He kind of that slimy bitch.
I know, right?
Yeah,
he was so hateable.
Yeah. He's a real good-looking guy, and just they're probably what, late 20s, early 30s, probably early 30s,
something like that.
And fucking, he's real likable in a way, like when you look at him, you know. But then as soon as you start talking, get to know this character, you go, "This motherfucker's a snake."
Yeah.
And his girlfriend's fucking hot. She's got abs and shit like that. You know what I mean? And she's, you gotta see. You know, they try to be real friendly. But that's them moving in.
Yeah, and like I said, you could tell they were like...
Yeah, they're doing things to try to fucking suck you in and fucking get dirt on you. It's weird,
But
man.
see, that's what... We were talking about this while we were watching the movie, because I said, see, that's what the vanilla couple's weakness was.
Yeah. Was
that because some shit had happened with them in the past, that they didn't have good communication, or they didn't talk about some shit, that the spicy couple were able to go behind their backs and say, "Hey, you know, you're like Sage or Diego said this about you, or told me about this," or something like that. So they were able to make them distrust each other. Yeah. So the fact that they would believe like a stranger over somebody they'd been with for years and years, like, just showed like the kind of fracture. Yeah. That's what, like I said, that's why they targeted those kind of, because they kind of got off on how long it would take for the couple to turn on each other. Like, you know, if you planted all these ideas in their head. They did it, like, kind of slowly at first, or, like, insidiously. You know, I think this isn't really a spoiler, but, like, the first thing that happens is that, I mean, it's pretty obvious, like, what she's up to. But Sin says to Diego, "Oh, can you come in here and help me a minute? Like, I can't find my glasses, and and my contacts aren't, and I can't see anything." Yeah. And he's like, "Can you come in here and help me look for my glasses?" And of course, she's just in there in a towel. Yeah. And all this other kind of shit, and it's like really obvious, like what she's trying to pull.
She has him look in her fucking in her
suitcase, and has like sex toys.
She's
like
got
dildos.
a fucking glass butt plug.
Yeah, I know. It's
he's like, looking at that, like, what the fuck? You know,
it's like, and he's just like super uncomfortable.
And she turns around, and in the mirror, he was talking to her. She goes away. And she turns around, and in the mirror, he could see her ass.
Yeah.
And then,
and then he's like, I'm out of here. I'm
yeah.
gonna get
She goes,
trouble.
oh, I'm so sorry, type of deal.
Yeah, like, oh, I
And
didn't
then,
mean to.
yeah, I'm not gonna spoil all the fucking little fucking tricks they play on him.
But it's all that kind of shit.
Everything
like,
is some kind of a trap.
they're trying to like stir dissent between
Yeah.
the two of them, or like make each like mistrust each other, because that's kind of their it's kind of their kink, I guess. Like,
and
they
then
get off on.
according to the evidence, video evidence, and other evidence that they show you. Usually, what they do is they end up in a basically kind of like a most dangerous game type situation where they're fucking running them down out in the woods.
Yeah, looks like it.
With bows and shit. Yeah. Guns.
So yeah, like that's how they get their jollies.
Yeah, they think it's fun.
Because they're
Yeah.
terrible messed up.
They're sadistic.
Yeah, it's pretty fucked up.
Yeah, they're sadistic on an emotional level. Yeah, they were trying to fuck your relationship up.
Yeah.
And you're like, see, your love isn't real. That type of deal.
Yeah, that's what they were
That's
trying to
what it
do.
is.
They were trying to like, they're like, we're trying to help you.
Yeah, right.
We're trying to show you that, like, you know.
Yeah, do you really think that I didn't fuck her? That type of shit. I got video proof.
Yeah.
He never shows it, but I think he might have had it. But fucking, who knows?
Yeah, that's what I mean. Now I'm kind of wondering if like... But like I said, I like that they didn't reveal.
Yeah. I think
Whether,
she did fuck him.
I mean, she might have, yeah. But see, maybe we're just thinking that because of shit that
She denied it.
True.
But I remember it was kind of weakly denied it. I don't know, man. It's different.
Like I said, it's our. But like I said, they
say.
left it ambiguous.
Yeah.
So like you would also be questioning. It's like, well, shit.
He
Did
blew
she-
it off though. He's like, get out of here. We're leaving. Yeah.
Yeah.
No, this is one we recommend. I wholeheartedly recommend this, and this was a good movie.
Yeah. Like I said,
worth
it's
watching.
first 2/3 of it are pretty much like a thriller, like psychological horror, but it gets like gory.
Yeah.
At the end.
But the first 2/3 are also very enjoyable.
Yeah.
So you're like, what? Is
Yeah,
going
like
on?
I really liked that.
Yeah.
I really liked like all the psychological
Yeah.
manipulation and all that other kind of stuff. I
Yeah.
thought it was pretty fun. So yeah, like I said, it's on Netflix, which, you know, usually Netflix doesn't really have a lot of horror movies, but this was actually a really good one. Like I said, I was surprised. I don't really think I've heard anybody talking about it. But yeah, I liked it quite a bit. Like I said, it's similar. I've seen similar movies, like with a similar premise, but I think it was well executed.
Good quality, yeah, good quality movie.
All right, so do you have anything else you would like to discuss?
No.
So for the Wednesday night show, as I said, I didn't do a poll because we really wanted to do a show about Robert E. Howard, you know, famous pulp writer, inventor of Conan the Barbarian, father of sword and sorcery.
Yeah, we're reading books.
And yeah, so we've been actually watching documentaries at night and over the weekend. We actually are like listening to all of his stories. I've read a bunch of his non-Conan stories.
Yeah.
But I hadn't really read any of the Conan ones. So we're actually listening to some
audio.
Conan ones like on YouTube.
On YouTube. YouTube has a lot of the audio books, and there's a shit ton of them.
Yeah.
One of them is like 7 hours long, but it's a collection.
Yeah.
But they're usually one story is about an hour. They were
Yeah,
short
because
stories.
they're short stories, but they're
Yeah.
still kind of long-ish.
Yeah, they were they were in old pulp magazines back in the day.
Yeah, and some of them were serialized, like if it was longer.
Yeah, and you can jump in anywhere. There's no chronological order.
Yeah, that's one of the things about the Conan stories. He didn't write them in order.
Yeah, it's kind of like Star Trek.
Or Mad Max or something.
Yeah, Star Trek, the original series, you know what I mean, where there's no real, you can watch them in any order.
Yeah, it doesn't
because
matter.
sometimes Conan's the king, he's old. Sometimes he's young, sometimes he's in the middle. You know, they're never meant to be read in any kind of order. You can just jump in, and no matter where you jump in, that's good enough. So, you know, maybe some of the younger crowd, they kind of demand continuity, but there's still a fucking bunch of world building. He was way ahead of Tolkien. All the little lands that he talks about, he had all that shit. He had a whole book about all those lands.
Like he wrote this really long essay.
Yeah, a real long essay about it. And that was
Yeah.
kind of like where Tolkien got the Silmarillion
Yeah.
from his essay. And he was kind of like, and this is before Marvel was doing it and before anybody. So he was like he was the OG of that kind of shit with Conan. And all the lands that Conan went to. And sometimes in one of the books, Conan wasn't the main character. Yeah, it was a chick who had been captured in Kush, which is like Howard's version of Africa. And Conan happened to be there with his gang of warriors, the black dudes, that he had a whole war band of them. And he betrayed a local king to get her out of captivity. And Conan was kind of like a side character.
Yeah, because she was mostly the main.
She was mostly the main.
Most of the beginning of the story was all from her POV.
It's all from her point of view, so it's pretty good. So you never can't tell with the Conan story what's gonna, how it's gonna actually go down. Each one's an individual story.
Yeah, I definitely want to listen to some more. We listened to Tower of the Elephant. That's a really good one.
Yeah, Tower of the Elephant. There's a lot of Lovecraftian stuff, and that one has
that's super
Lovecraft in it. The god in Howard's world, the gods are aliens, basically, and they're the old ones that Lovecraft's talking about.
Yeah,
and they've taken other forms, so they've transmuted themselves so they can live on the earth. And anybody who's another, there's also extra dimensional beings. They can be gods too, but that was the same with Lovecraft. Some of them were extra-dimensional, some of them were extraterrestrial.
Yeah,
same thing. And like dragons are dinosaurs in Conan's world, basically. And it's like Lord of the Rings. It's just he wanted to make historical fiction, and he wanted his character to be anywhere at any time through all these places in history. So he had to reboot that
and just make like a fictional
world,
but that was based on real cultures that he wanted to talk about.
Yeah.
But they were all closer together, so you could kind of like
you could walk to them. It was
a good idea.
It was still the size of Europe and Asia.
Yeah, it was still big.
It's just. And it was, so you have China, you have Africa.
It's just called.
You have Rome, you have the Nordic countries. You even had Atlantis, but it's gone.
And Lemuria.
Yeah, and then there's also. Howard said there was an undiscovered continent in the West. That he was going to write about that too. So it's an alternate universe America.
Yeah.
I
think he did set one of the Conan stories in that, but I'm not sure what it's called. I don't remember. I have to go look it up. Because he wrote quite a few Conan stories. But yeah, so that's what we're going to talk about on Wednesday night. So that should be a really fun show. Because like I said, we've been I always do a lot of research for the shows, but Tom's been listening to a lot of the stories with me and stuff like that. So that's kind of fun, just hanging out, listening to Conan stories. So yeah, like I said, hopefully you guys can join us for that on Wednesday. And thanks you guys for hanging out with us ever so briefly this evening as we talked about the movie. And hopefully you guys have a good rest of your evening and have a good day tomorrow. And we'll see you guys again on Wednesday night.